Joining me this morning is the woman you saw in that video. That is Ashley Robinson, the owner and the dentist for AccommoDental. Ashley, thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You started AccommoDental for a very good reason. Speak to, if you could, the inspiration behind it.
Sure thing. So I have my sister who has special needs is in my family, and I also have other family members who are elderly and at home. And so during my training, I noticed, I was training in a hospital locally, and I noticed that there were a lot of patients who I was treating in the hospital who also might not be able to get to the dentist once they're discharged, once they're at home.
Right.
And our community needs in-home dental, and I could see it in my own family, I could see it when I was in my training, and I figured it wouldn't happen unless I started AccommoDental.
And you have everything you possibly would need, anything you would find at a dentist's office. I'm seeing this in the video. You have it with you. You take it to these locations. Is this, I mean, it's become muscle memory for you, I'm sure, but how did you get to the point where you were able to do this for folks?
Oh, I definitely took practice, and I don't want to mislead anyone. I can't bring, the around the head X-ray, panoramic X-ray machine into someone's house or something like that. But I do. I have a lot of equipment. You see here my X-ray machine, other portable filling equipment, and there's a lot that I can do at home. So yes, learning how to plug in around where anybody's situated. A lot of people remain in their hospital bed or in their wheelchair, and I can set up my equipment right around them. But right, I wouldn't want to mislead anyone and make them think I have all of the same capabilities that a dentist does in their office. So I always tell everyone, if you can get to the dentist, you absolutely should. That's the most efficient way for public health if we all go there. But there are people at home who can't get to the dental office, and there are things that we can do for them.
And speak to that if you could. What it was like and really the reaction to having this in-home dental option.
So it was pretty emotional. I mean, for me, I'm grateful to be able to offer the service, but for patients, we get phone calls coming in from people who have been at home for years and just couldn't get into the office, and they either had pain or a lot of embarrassment too, and they would say things like, you know, I cannot believe that you're offering this. Are you sure you can come to my house and give me a cleaning? Like, just very emotional reactions, a lot of gratitude, and it's grateful. I'm grateful to be able to do it, and they're grateful to have me. So it's a wonderful thing.
So how do you book an appointment?
You can call the office, 716-525-8228, and speak to my assistant, Katie, to book an appointment.
It's easy enough, correct? And really, you should feel, I like that you mentioned that some people do feel embarrassed that they would need this sort of service, and they shouldn't, 100%, and that they should feel no reservation in being able to call and say, this was probably the best service for me, correct?
Absolutely. I always say I'm a dentist, I'm not a judge. And any dentist who's judging is in the wrong profession, because we're here to get people out of pain, keep people smiling, keep everybody healthy and comfortable.
And what do you tell people about preparing for a visit?
I say, don't worry about preparing for the visit. We'll get there and we'll prepare the moment. But as far as collecting information in advance, we collect some medical history via a patient portal online. So we want to know, maybe you need antibiotics before you see the dentist.
Okay.
Maybe there's some medical preparation that has to go into your visit, so we can arrange for that over the phone. But as far as physically being prepared, don't worry. I always find a way to set up equipment around you, whether it's I bring a table or we have a table, like, we'll make it work.
I was going to say, do they need to accommodate anything for you prior to the visit, like providing a table, for instance, or a chair? But none of that is necessary.
No, we are AccommoDental. We try to accommodate you, so we're going to set up around however we have to.
On a chair, a couch, or even in bed? Is that something that you've seen before?
People can stay in their favorite recliner or in their bed or in their wheelchair, wherever people are comfortable. They assume their favorite position at home, and we set up around them.
Oh my goodness, how busy are you? I feel like this is a service. You know, we were talking about this before the show, that you just see this more so in a lot of medical scenarios, right? Like, people can get their physical therapy at home. What was the other thing we were talking about? It's so common to see it now. Visiting nurses.
Yes.
And dental is kind of a place where you saw the need and decided to do something about it. So I'm sure there are plenty of people who are seeing this right now who are thinking, this is a long time coming.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you so much for that. And again, if you could, just remind people again where they can find you, where they can get more information, and how they can book an appointment.
Sure. So for more information, feel free to visit the website, AccommoDental.com. So that's like accommodate, ACCOMMO dental.com. And to make an appointment, call 716-525-8228.
And I'm sure you have a FAQ on your website, frequently asked questions.
Oh,
but what would you
absolutely.
say is the most common question people ask when they're booking an appointment with you?
They ask about availability, and we're very flexible. We drive, how far do you go, right? So I drive as far north. I've been up to Barker, I'm down to Jamestown and Cuba, all
Wow,
over.
okay.
They're just aren't a lot of people visiting dentistry anywhere in the state. I'll get calls from Albany, New York. So if you're looking to do house calls and you're a dentist, let me know, because there's a demand everywhere. So the range, I would say, is I'm comfortable to drive, within an hour, but there's an additional fee outside, 20 miles outside the city.
Right.
But we're happy to reach you anywhere. So that's probably one of the biggest questions I get is where do you go?
Right. And I'm curious, because of the pandemic, because people have seen that, maybe there's little reservations still getting out there, and that has stopped people from going to get their regular dental checkups.
Absolutely.
Have you seen an upswing in people saying, this is the service that I need right now?
For sure. We have a lot of patients who have autoimmune or immune disorders, so they'd like to be seen at home to avoid going into the clinical setting.
Yeah. So this is something that, if that's something that you're dealing with and you're thinking to yourself, I need to have that kind of security of being in my own home, where of course the variables are controlled, correct?
Correct.
This might be for you. All right, well, thank you so much, Ashley, for being on AM Buffalo. We're so grateful to be able to talk to you about this. Again, that's AccommoDental.com, and there's a number on the screen right there for you, 716-525-8228, and you can actually email them if that's easier for you, support@AccommoDental.com.